Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got 10 tips for reorganizing your pantry because tackling a project like this can be really overwhelming. I was overwhelmed even just knowing where to start. So I've got 10 tips for you guys. We're gonna do this on a budget. Today's video is brought to you by feedthepig.org, which is a PSA campaign of the AICPA and the Ad Council. Super cool, amazing free resource. They also have a game on their website called Yesterday's Tomorrow that I played myself, and it gives you suggestions on things to do in your own life based on the things that you are interested in and the ways that you can save money and invest and all that kind of stuff. Because I know it doesn't seem like it, but even small things like reorganizing your pantry can make such a difference later on. Just having these simple steps and a plan can make such a difference. And speaking of saving money, let's talk about my 10 tips for organizing your pantry. Tip number 1 is to empty everything out and check your expiration dates, because you'll be surprised at how much of the stuff in your pantry actually needs to be thrown away. I threw away way more than I expected to. So that's the first thing you have to do. And then wipe it all down, make sure everything's nice and clean. So that's the first thing to do. The second thing to do is to create a plan. So I actually drew out my pantry on a piece of paper. I measured all my shelves, kind of decided what was gonna go where, how it needed to function, what was gonna be different about my pantry now versus before, because there were definitely things that didn't work with how it was organized before. Like I had food in this side and I had food in that side. So one of the things that I knew I wanted to change is I was gonna have all my food on this side, and this side was going to be extra vases, extra appliances, medicine, a little bit of like a home-based section where we could put mail so it gets up off the counter. So that was my plan, and then I measured all my shelves so that then I could go shopping and buy just exactly what I needed. That takes me to tip number 3, which is decide what type of containers you need that's going to function well for you. So I've got mason jars, I've got things for dry goods, I've got things for snacks, I've got bins for my kids to pull out their own snacks when they're packing their lunches once we start back at school. So really think about how it's going to function best for you, and then you can go shopping. So tip number 4 is shop for your containers. I recommend picking places where you can really get it inexpensively, because all that stuff can really add up. Really anything that's close by that you can get inexpensive containers. Also, you can use the thrift store, because a lot of these are mason jars, and you can buy new lids and new tops for the mason jars, and they're glass, so you can throw them in the dishwasher and sterilize them and reuse them. So you could check thrift stores, or maybe you have a bunch of mason jars. I know all of us DIYers, we've got like a cupboard full of mason jars. So that's a really great option for storing your food. Use the kind of containers that will be best for you. Tip number 5 is now put your food in the containers and label them. So labeling is something that you can do lots of different ways. You can put stickers on there, you can use markers on the glass, you can make your own labels. What I decided to do, since really most of my containers are glass, I just decided to write directly on there. I used a chalk pen, I wrote it on there what exactly this was. This is powdered sugar. And I wrote the date where it expires. That way you can just wipe it off and put a new label. That way if you want to switch the different containers, use it for something different once you run out, all that stuff, then you can just reuse it really easily. Glass containers are really good for food storage in terms of safety. You don't want to use inexpensive plastic, so if you do use plastic, just make sure it's like the kind without BPA and all that stuff. Tip number 6 is organize it how you are going to access it the most. So the stuff that's at eye level, right at reaching level, is the stuff that we get in and out of all the time. So anything that you don't use very much, put that on the bottom or up at the top. That way you're not constantly bending down or reaching up high for things that you use all the time. Tip number 7, make things easy access for your children if you have them. I put all of their snacks right here. This is like perfect kid height, right? So all my kids' snacks are here. If they want to get something for their lunch, they want to get a snack, they can just grab it. It's easy, done. Tip number 8 is to add some personal touches. Make it pretty, make it fun, make it your own, and you'll be more inclined to keep it up that way. So I added a picture of my children right here. This is my little like command center, because the countertop that's right here is constantly got like random crap on it, so I wanted to be able to put that in there. I had plenty of space to be able to put all that in the cupboard so we can make it look nice and neat and tidy in the kitchen. But I put a picture of my kids in there. You can put wallpaper on the back, little stickers, things to make it fun, make it you, and make it enjoyable to be in your space. Tip number 9 is to not stuff it back full. I've got lots of extra room in here, and we're gonna need some extra space. We're gonna have the holidays, we're gonna need extra kind of room to move through life, right? We don't want to just stuff it full because we have the space. Get rid of stuff so that you have enough space to have a little wiggle room. So yeah, tip number 10 is to just live in it for a little bit and don't be afraid to move things around. It's just because you did this big task once doesn't mean that it's going to need some constant revisions and constant revisiting to make sure that you got it functioning exactly how you want. Thanks so much for watching my 10 tips for a budget-friendly pantry reorganization. Thank you to the AICPA for sponsoring this video. Check out feedthepig.org if you are curious about managing your money, saving your money. It's so important. I definitely think it's a great resource for you guys. I'm happy to be able to share these kind of things with you. I would love to know, out of the 10 tips, what was your favorite? Leave that in the comment section down below. Everything will be linked in the description box. I will have a full list of all the things that you can see behind me. Questions, comments, if you like this video, please share it with a friend, and I'll see you in the next video.